So now, you're living life and you know what you don't want, and you give birth to a new idea, and the source within you rides that rocket and literally becomes it vibrationally, as all things are become vibrationally before they become manifestationally. And so that non-physical part of you holds that vibration, and law of attraction responds to it. Responds to the increased wealth. It responds to the improved bodily condition. Responds to the improved clarity. Responds to the improved vitality and flexibility that your life has helped you to ask for. Because when you ask, it is always given. It is not just given. It is given, and the larger part of you becomes it. And then law of attraction begins to respond to that larger part of you. So now, since law of attraction is responding to everything, and this larger part of you is summoning from all of the resources of this boundaryless universe, all things necessary to give you the complete summation and manifestation of what you've asked for, what a powerful vortex is created around that idea. And to you, it feels like a pulling of you, and all things like you, all things like this idea that you've given birth to, are being called toward that too. And when you go, you feel eager. When you go, you feel elation. When you go, you feel euphoric. When you go, you feel energetic. You feel vitality. You feel frisky. When you don't go, you feel disappointed. When you don't go, you feel angry. When you don't go, you feel frustration or overwhelmment. In other words, every negative emotion that you feel is for one reason only. The larger part of you is calling you, and you're not going. Now, we want to clarify that statement because it wasn't completely accurate. Oh, you're going. You're going. The question is, are you going willingly? In other words, you can't not go. The current is strong. The becoming of you is happening. But often we see you take your raft down to this river, and you put your raft in, you've got your oars, and immediately you turn it upstream and begin paddling very hard. And we say, why not turn and go with the flow? And you say, oh, that seems very lazy to me. Anybody could do that. I think I should try harder. And I think I should go that way. We say, really? You want to go that way when every resource in the universe is calling you this way? And you say, yes, I'm going that way. Because I'm virtuous and valiant and vigilant and diligent. And look around. Look at all the others that were born around me. They're all going that way, too. Because we've all heard, if we struggle hard, we'll get a monument. They'll write books about our struggle. We'll be famous. And after we die, our struggling friends tell us, that's when the real reward for our struggle will come. We say, really? How do you figure that out? The laws of the universe change then? Are you saying the laws of the universe don't apply everywhere? There aren't universal laws, there are earthly laws, and then there are spiritual laws, and they don't apply across the board? Law of attraction is a universal law. And your well-being is universally understood. And the source within you knows your value, and when you don't, you're paddling upstream. And then we say, and our physical friends rarely hear us in the beginning in the way that we want them to hear it. Then we say, and nothing that you want is upstream. Everything that you want is downstream, because everything is being held by that which you really are, and you're being called toward it, and that's why there is a stream. That's why you feel emotions. You can feel when you're moving toward who you really are. The source within you adores you. That's the drum that source beats. And when you're mad at you, you're upstream. The source within you knows your value, your worthiness, and your ability to achieve. And when you doubt yourself, when you don't like the results, when you beat the drum of not enoughness, you're upstream. The source within you knows the unlimited nature of this universe that is expanding exponentially in direct proportion with the desires that you are giving birth to. And when you beat the drum of not enoughness, you're upstream from your own current. But the good news is you will never feel negative emotion again and not know that it always means the same thing. You're not letting you keep up with who you have become. And we so want you to understand that keeping up with who you have become is what you were born to do. There was not some standard that was set for you before you got here. You said, I'll go forth and I will create my reality. I'll go forth and this environment will inspire me to my expansion. And the source within you says, yes, that is my expansion too. You will go forth and inspire our expansion. And when we get a glimpse of it, we will turn our undivided attention to the expanded idea. And you said, I'll come with you. And you always do. When you croak, you close the gap. Every single time. We try to be disrespectful about death since there isn't any. When you withdraw your consciousness from this time-space reality, you become the expanded being that you have expanded to by virtue of this physical life experience. Don't you just love knowing that? Don't you love knowing that the purpose of your life is for that joyous, never-ending expansion? You didn't come forth to get something done that needed to be done. You came forth to be inspired to something that you wanted to do. You wanted to be inspired to the new idea because you know from your eternal, non-physical perspective that there is nothing more exhilarating than to take the knowing that you are and focusing it upon some environment and coming to a new improved conclusion and then turning your undivided attention to the new desire and feeling universal forces bringing it into play. You see, sometimes when you're creating a car or a relationship or a new house or an improved bodily condition, you feel inferior in your creating because after all, that which you call God creates worlds. And we want you to understand that's exactly who you are and what you're doing. You are expanding this world by virtue of your attention to the details of it. It's fun to talk with you and exhilarating to help you to remember who you are. And the theme of this Art of Allowing workshop is always the same. We want to show you ways that you can consciously keep up with who you are becoming. And we want to remind you that if your own life wasn't causing the larger part of you to become even more, then you would never feel negative emotion when you don't go. You only feel negative emotion when life has caused you to cause your stream to move faster, and you don't move along with it, you see. Jerry and Esther had a wonderful experience last summer. They went whitewater rafting. They were on a river in Colorado, and it was a very big river, fast-moving, class 4 rapids through most of it. And the river guide said to them, almost as soon as they began the day, friends, this is not Disneyland, and we cannot turn this river off. And it got their attention because it made them realize this river was going that way, and so were they. Not one of them, there were several rafts that went in at the same time. Not one of them even contemplated turning the raft upstream and fighting the current. It was so obvious that the current was going to have its way with them. And we would like to make that obvious to you. We want you to know that this river of life, this source that is you, this source that you have caused to call you more and more and more downstream, will never stop calling you. Once you have actualized a desire by living life and giving birth to it, the source within you will call you to it. And when you go, oh, you feel so good. And when you don't feel so good. So we are eager to talk with you about anything that is important to you. You've been living life and throwing things out there into your vibrational escrow, and the source within you has received them and is holding them. And now in this gathering, we will find ways to call you easily toward that which your own life has caused you to become. That's why we call it the art of allowing, letting you be who your own life has caused you to become. Not getting you to be something that somebody else wants you to be. Not getting you to meet some other standard. There is no other standard. There is no gap other than the vibrational gap between who you really are and who you're letting yourself be in any point in time. Jerry and Esther have navigational systems. You do too. The system knows where they are. They program where they want to be, and the system gives them never-ending, incessant verbal and visual description, calling them toward where they said they want to be. Your guidance system is the same way, except that you feel it rather than reading it on a screen. It's what your emotions are. The better you feel, the more you are moving in the direction of who you have become. You don't have to turn your boat around and begin paddling rapidly toward all the stuff that you think is waiting for you downstream. In fact, even the idea that you have to paddle downstream means you don't understand the power of the stream. It will take you. You don't even have to turn your boat around. If you just let go of the oars, the current will turn your boat around. When you let go of the oars, which means when you stop trying, when you stop the struggle, when you stop defending or rationalizing or even focusing on what's wrong, when you stop the complaining, when you're no longer focused upon the absence of what you want, in the moment that you stop doing that, your boat begins to move toward what you want. And in that moment, you feel relief. And relief is the emotion that you want to reach for. Because it does no good whatsoever to compare yourself. Oh, I feel bad and you feel good. So what? Oh, I'm sad and you're happy. So what? The comparison of how anybody else is doing in their vibrational gap has nothing to do with you. The only thing that matters to you is how you feel right now and how you feel when you release a little resistance. In other words, we want you to leave this gathering knowing that your quest is just a little relief. Somebody calls you on the telephone and they make you so mad. They make you so mad. They told you something that you did not want to hear. And you think, I am so mad. In the moment that you realize that you're feeling that way, what we want you to now realize is you're mad, but the source within you isn't. You're not feeling good, the source within you is. And so what you want to do is release the thought that's made you so mad, and in the releasing of it, you will automatically turn towards something that feels better. We've never seen any of you be very effective at just all of a sudden putting your brain on pause. I'm mad. Oh wait, where's that button? Oh, there. That's so much better. Who am I? Where am I? There is no pause button. In other words, you cannot turn your thinking mechanism off. You can only point it in different directions. So if you're angry about something and you don't want to be angry, find something that feels good. But the tricky thing is, if you're angry and have been there for a while and you say, oh, I think I'll turn my attention towards something that makes me feel wonderful, you don't have that broad of a range, because law of attraction won't give you a bright fluffy thought when you are having one that is really angry. So the best you can do, and it's good enough, is find a thought that's a little less angry, a little less angry, a little less angry, until eventually you're a little less angry, and then you're not angry at all. You're just frustrated. And then you're a little less frustrated, and then you're not frustrated at all. You're hopeful. And then you're a little less hopeful. In fact, you're not hopeful at all. You're believing. You're just reaching for these gradual increments of improving the way you feel. Don't ask yourself to do the impossible. Don't say, I feel bad and I'm going to immediately get feeling good. Say, I feel bad and I'm going to feel less bad. I'm going to feel less bad. I'm going to feel less bad. There's nothing wrong with feeling less bad, 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 less mad, less bad, less mad, till all of a sudden you feel good. And you'll know when you find that turning point. You'll know when you feel frisky again. You'll know when the day looks bright again. You'll know when the fog lifts up off of you. You'll know. Just don't demand the impossible. Just do it a little bit at a time. And that's what we're here to talk about. Anything you want, what is it?